Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Mike Prince Show. It is that time of the week yet again where we get to meet with the dean of the Open Mic U, and that's none other than Coach Van Pettaway. It's grade time. Coach, how you doing today, sir?
I'm doing fine. This is another great day that we have here, and I'm happy to be here, and I look forward to giving out these grades.
Yes, sir. It is a great day to be here. It's greater than the last Saturday that I experienced. And man, oh man, all I can say is wow, Coach. We got a lunch pail brought to us, man, and we didn't get a chance to open and see what was in the box.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. That was a big one.
Yes, sir. Well, you live to fight another day, and we shall see what the next journey will be. Well, with that being said, sir, it's time for us to go ahead and get these grades for the week. And, of course, it's now in your court.
All righty. We're going to start off with Florida A&M at South Carolina State. That game was played in Orangeburg, South Carolina, and Florida A&M came out on top 20-14. And in that game, they led 17-0 at halftime, and then they had to fight their way to win that game. But Xavier Smith had 102 receiving yards for him, and he helped lead the Rattlers to that win. And I'm going to give Florida A&M a in this game for the simple fact that they beat a MEAC team and they were on the road. So Florida A&M gets an A. Yes,
sir, and you're exactly right. And don't look now, but FAMU is 4-2, Coach, and right. I give them an A as well. So job well done for Rattler Nation representing the Southwestern Athletic Conference.
Right. And then next up on tab, it was Texas Southern and Arkansas Pine Bluff at Pine Bluff. Texas Southern came out on top 24-17. I'm going to give Texas Southern an A in this game for winning on the road. And then Arkansas Pine Bluff has to get a D. I think it was mentioned in the press conference that they should have saved some of those points that they were scoring on some of those other schools. So I agree with that. So that's why they get the D.
Yes, sir.
And Body led them with 211 yards.
Yes, sir.
And TSU scored in all the quarters. So that's why I'm giving them that A.
Well, Body is definitely the real deal. I gave Texas Southern an A as well, but I gave UAPB a C plus, Coach, and I gave them a C plus because they were competitive in the game, and they did step up, to some more level competition, but they did fall short, and they still looking, I guess you say, for some of those points against North American Stallions. Can't get over that one.
Yeah, okay. And next up, it was Jackson State going down to Montgomery, taking on Alabama State. Jackson State won that game 26-12. It was homecoming for Alabama State, and Shedeur Sanders had 332 yards. And Jackson State only led 10-6 at halftime, but they ended up coming out in the second half and winning 26-12. So I'm going to give Jackson State an A because they got that mark on them. Everybody is after Jackson State, and they find a way to win every week. And Alabama State for homecoming, they'll get a C out of me for this one.
Well, I gave Alabama State a C plus as well because thus far, at least as far as my eyeball test is going, they've played Jackson State the toughest out of conference opponents, and I give Jackson State an A. They're just a juggernaut of the conference right now, and the only way that you can seem to get them off the track, man, somebody's going to have to try to find a way to beat them.
Oh, yes. All right, and then next up, we're going to jump down to Bethune-Cookman stepping out of conference, playing against Tennessee State in Nashville. Bethune-Cookman lost that game 41-17. I'm going to give Bethune a break. They're going to get a C for this game, and even though they lost, that program is going through a lot. They've been, I'm going to call them the Road Warriors because they have yet to be back on their campus. They're just going from city to city. They're in Jacksonville right now to play their next game. And so I'm going to give them a little break and give them a C.
I'll help you a little bit, and I give a C minus, Coach. Road or not, you still got to execute and they've been struggling. And I don't know if I gave my letter grade. I'm trying to remember. I gave Jackson an A, by the way, but I don't know if I recalled it all out to you or not. But I gave them a C minus. I don't know, Coach. They gotta show me a little bit more, and I'm afraid they'll show more when they come play my Panthers for homecoming on October 29th. So they say you have not because you ask not, but
right.
I don't want them to show it up on October 29th. But I give them a C minus.
Okay. All right. And then next up, we had the Alcorn Braves going down to Itta Bena to play Mississippi Valley. Alcorn came out on top 30-7. That's after a layoff, a week off. So I'm going to give Alcorn an A on this one, and Valley, who I'll never flunk, will get a C on this game.
Well, I'm giving Valley a D, and I know it's hard on them, but they got to score more than 7 points a week. You got to score more. You got to be better than one series. And it seems like that first couple of series, they're in it to win it, and then something just goes haywire. I'm going to give Alcorn a as well because they're rising. And you look up, and it's that Fred McNair-led Alcorn Brave team right there in the thick of things again. And guess what? Here we go again.
Right. And I think part of the reason why I think Mississippi Valley fades, like Alcorn scored 16 points in the fourth quarter, I think because of their lack of resources, the depth is taking over late in ball games. And I think because they don't have the scholarships to put bodies on the field, I think that's part of their issue. And that's why I have a soft spot.
I know. I definitely got a soft spot for them. And a lot of people accuse me thinking that I got my undergrads from Valley because I show so much love. But I'm talking about at least give me a first half effort. I know depth and scholarships are going to show its toll after a while. But come on, man, you got to give me more than 7.
Yeah,
you got to give me more than 7.
All right. Okay. Next up, your Prairie View Panthers hosted Southern. Coach Dooley had an opportunity to come back to where he coached. They won that game 45-13. I'm going to give Southern an A. They shut out Prairie View in the second half, and Beeson had 275 yards passing. And I'm going to give Prairie View a D on this one because it should have been, because they were at home, I thought it would have been a more competitive game.
Well, Coach, you said hosting, and all we did was showed up. Usually a host shows a little hospitality, so it's like Southern had a home away from home and just showed their will. And all I could think of is Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. Prairie View playing an excellent program, a plan first half, up 13-10. Defense is looking crisp. Offense was looking crisp. And then they go in at intermission and come out. And I didn't even recognize who these guys were. And as bad as I hate to say it, because there's been a consistency of struggling in the second half, we've seen this for 6 weeks in a row now. Coach, I gave him a D minus. I really did. And that Lord knows I love my Panthers. Lord knows I love my Panthers. And there was a lot going on. We don't make excuses for what's been going on at Prairie View, but you still got to be ready to play a game in such a magnitude and importance that this one was. And for Southern, I gave them an A+.
Right.
Gave them an A+ because Southern played the head game. And they got into the Panthers' head with some pregame antics, which is becoming part of the psychological approach and attack nowadays, and they fell for the bait. And as a result, you got what you got. So the only thing good out of this, what there's a bye week for Prairie View this week, is they get ready for Lamar on October the 22nd.
Okay. And we're going to close out this week with my Bulldogs of Alabama A&M. They hosted Grambling. They won this game 37-31. in double overtime. I'm going to start with Gremlin. I'm going to give Gremlin a B for their effort and how they competed in this game. And I'm going to also give the Bulldogs, because they did win the game, they found a way to win. I'm going to give them a B, and I'm giving them a B because not only did they lose Eglin, their leading rusher, Casey was their backup quarterback, and he had 188-yard passing in that game. So a lot of people didn't know that Eglin did not play much in the second half because of an injury. And then, of course, Casey, the backup quarterback, played 3/4 of this football game. So that's why I'm giving out a B.
Well, I'm giving 2 B pluses on this one, Coach, and here's why. Grambling, as you said, played by far the best game that they've played all season. They're still looking for their win. I don't know if they played good enough to get the G placed back on the helmet, but it was by far a very much improved product out on the field by Coach Hugh Jackson. I gave your Bulldogs a B plus because of what Grambling brought to the table. I thought it should have been a little bit more dominance of that game, but it was a good competitive game. But I do understand about the quarterback situation. But as they say, the next man up. But they took care of business, and it seemed like the Bulldogs are trying to find their way, sir.
Oh yes, they right now they're where they need to be in terms of trying to get back in this race. But right now, Jackson State is looking good in the East, and right now the West is wide open.
The West is wide open, and it's a log jam. But you're going to have some degrees of separation this weekend, as my watchful eye will be on the Alcorn Southern game.
Yes, yes.
You know, that's going to be a hot ticket to purchase, Coach. And not only am I looking at it as a supporter and fan of the SWAC, but I'm looking at it as a fan of the Panthers. When you lose games, now you start looking for help. So Prairie View is now going to need Alcorn to beat Southern, which would give them 2 losses within the division. Then you got to pull out not just one rabbit foot, but all 4 of the rabbit's foot to hope that you can beat Alcorn when you get past Lamar after the bye week to try to get yourselves back in that pole position. So it's going to be a lot going on this week. And I know you kind of, as I say, gave me a little support when I said that the game of interest would be Alcorn and Southern. I'm assuming that's one you're looking at. Any others, Coach?
Right. Well, yeah, I'm also looking to see where Florida A&M, they go down to Grambling. You know, historically, that's been 2 of the top HBCU programs. So it'll be interesting to see if Florida A&M can continue their winning ways, because they won 4 in a row. And then, of course, my Bulldogs will play on Sunday in St. Louis as they'll be playing Arkansas Pine Bluff.
Well, you know, they're going to be back in my hometown, Coach.
Right.
And Theo Glass's hometown as well. And, you know, that's been a game that and I don't have to tell you, but for the listeners, they used to play there quite often. And I don't know what happened to the television. Maybe you can give us a little backstory on that, Coach.
Well, no, I don't know why they stopped playing in St. Louis, but I'm looking forward to the game. It's a 3:00 kickoff, and I think both teams are happy that they'll be in St. Louis this weekend.
Yes, sir. Will you be there, Coach, or are you going to be watching and listening?
I'll be listening to it.
Okay. Okay. Well, Coach, good luck to your Bulldogs. I can always say that, especially when we don't play each other. And
right.
Even if I tell you that, I don't really mean it, Coach. You know that, but it's all in spirit, right?
Right.
Well, look, Coach, I want to give you some closing thoughts and comments as we wrap this week's sessions up, sir.
Well, this has been enlightening, watching these teams, keeping up with these teams and giving them a grade has been great. And we would like to continue to ask you to continue doing what you do by getting the word out, because it's definitely needed in this day and time.
Well, we thank you, sir. We're going to keep doing the very best we can while we can. Old saying that I came up with some years ago, I don't know how I came up with it. I say, a broke clock is right at least twice a day, right, Coach?
Oh, correct.
But it says I might not be the best, but when I do my best, God is pleased. And all we're trying to do is do our best every time, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. He is the dean of the OU, not Oklahoma U, but Open Mic U. Coach Van Pettaway. I am the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince, reminding you guys that you can follow me on Twitter at The Mike Prince Show. And don't forget, subscribe to the YouTube channel at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. And until the next time, you guys be blessed, and we'll see you on the other side.